I will absolutely do that. So, all right, I think we are nearly live. Just waiting. There we go. All right. Hey, everyone. You're watching episode 75 of Yield TV. Hey, welcome back. It is Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. And today we are going to talk all about charged particles. So this is a new project that marries NFTs and ERC20 tokens and Ether and other NFTs. So it's a really interesting new protocol, and we're going to talk all about the use cases. And for someone like myself who's into both DeFi and NFTs, it's really like bringing two worlds together here. So today, though, we're going to talk with the co-founder of Charged Particles, Ben Lakoff. So Ben, welcome to Yield TV. How are you doing?
Hey, Travis. Good to see you. Happy to be here.
I actually a little mistake there. So Rob Secord. Is that how you say Rob's last name?
Yeah.
So Rob won't be able to join us because they're actually launching today, which is super exciting. So Rob is the founder, and I continue to call Ben a co-founder, but whatever. When you are a team of two, so it's easy to call you a co-founder.
Yeah. No, and Rob is literally we're going live today, so it's a little bit of a crunch time right now. That's for sure.
It's really cool. And also we'll talk more about like how you can get involved with Charged Particles, but there is a launch party here tonight at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll continue to remind you of this throughout the episode, but you can join the Token Smart Discord for the audio, and then for visuals, it's in Crypto Voxels. So anyways, Ben, let's start with your background. How did you get involved in crypto? How'd you eventually find DeFi? And then I guess what led you to work with Rob on Charged Particles?
Sure. Well, my name's Ben Lakoff. I'm American. I was joking with Travis that I'd stop my intro there and keep it super, super brief. My background is in finance, so I have my CFA, went kind of the more traditional route of corporate finance, M&A, private equity, and then swapped over to crypto via angel investing, actually, and then got more involved in the space over the past 3 years. So I met, or 4 years now at this point, and it's kind of dog years, as you know, so it seems a lot longer. Met Rob last summer in the Gitcoin kernel program. So it's a virtual accelerator for builders of Web3. They actually have their second cohort going on right now. For any of the listeners that are interested in learning more about Web3 or building a Web3 company, I would highly encourage you to check out Kernel. It's through Gitcoin. But met Rob there and started talking about Charged Particles. He's been thinking about this, dreaming about it, since late 2019. So we kind of, he fed me enough of the Kool-Aid that I was convinced that we should go full-time on this thing and really make it something special.
I did not realize that's how far back the idea went. Just because, I mean, 2019 is not too long ago, but a lot has changed. I mean, I think when I met you was 2019, probably prepping for Ethereal at the time, and that's it. We were all just kind of starting to notice that there was a product market fit to DeFi. The phrase had been coined, but we were all there wasn't this big community rallying around it, and so much has changed. I think around that time, I know the summer of 2019 we were around 500 million in total value locked. Most of it at the time too had surged from MakerDAO, and we were just starting to see Compound. But anyways, one of the cool things that you'll learn here is just that Charged Particles, I think, is a great example of the fact that NFTs and DeFi really fall under one umbrella. Over the last 12 months, that's been my thesis, is that there is no separation here. These aren't separate communities. They're just working on different sorts of problems that will merge into one that help us to empower a peer-to-peer bankless digital financial infrastructure. So It's just that NFTs are super fun because they're like digital collectibles, like digital Pokemon or something. So,
Well, the thing about NFTs too is it's like you have fungible tokens, which in all reality are just privacy coins, and then you have literally everything else, which could be categorized as non-fungible tokens. So it's such a broad category to
yeah,
say that we're doing something within non-fungible tokens. I mean, it's gigantic.
I think eventually we'll talk about like NFTs the way you would with crypto. When someone says, "Oh, crypto," I'm like, I mean, what are you even talking about? Like what specifically? Because there's just so much going on, and clearly we focus on all these use cases that are flourishing on Ethereum. So, Ben, let's talk about what is charged particles. I guess like can you kind of dumb it down for me and like all those that are sort of new to it?
Yeah, sure. So NFTs, massive category. Charged Particles is NFT agnostic, so we can touch all of these types of NFTs. But what we do is we take an NFT and we enable it to hold other tokens. So this can be other ERC20 tokens, speculative tokens, LP tokens, yield-bearing tokens like DeFi assets. It can even hold other NFTs. So you can kind of create this Russian doll of NFTs within NFTs with tokens locked inside. So this is what Charged Particles does. It's a protocol, and we're going live with a dApp this afternoon, actually.
Right. And we'll give some previews to that. Again, most of this won't be live until later, but you can go to charged.fi, and this is the informational landing page. So to summarize, what stuck out to me about charged particles is, there's just some like really simple examples and use cases, like turn your NFT into a basket holding any token. In a way, what you guys are doing sort of reminds me of, all of the interest we have around indexes. DeFi native indexes are very powerful. They've become much more liquid and more popular. And so this is kind of going that direction, but it's being able to like take a piece of art and deposit ether into it, or take a piece of crypto art and let's say deposit some Aave interest earning tokens or some compound interest earning tokens. So that was what stuck out to me as someone who really like loves crypto art, but also like, I want to harness the power of putting my money to work with DeFi. So
absolutely. Anyway. And then the configurations you can do. So not only can you deposit these tokens into your NFT, into your crypto art, but you can time lock them. So I could have a piece of artwork with your face, Travis, on it, and I could put a little bit of WBTC wrapped Bitcoin and lock it for a year. I could put some Travis tokens. We could create a social token with Roll or Rally or somebody like that, and put some Travis tokens in there, and I could lock those for 2 years. And then I could put some Aave ADAI in there and have a portion of the interest directed to a charity of your choice, and anybody can deposit ADAI into there. So it gives you a lot of flexibility around what you can do with NFTs.
Yeah, just really like endless sort of possibilities here. Well, I can probably stop sharing this a moment. Again, this is more just to give everyone a sense of what this is, why it matters. Ben, would you be interested to show, again, this isn't live yet, so their application isn't live, but we could give you a sense of like what's coming here later today and all the sorts of things you'll be able to do over the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll preface this with we actually go live today at 2:30 p.m. Pacific. So we have a launch party, which Travis mentioned, in Crypto Voxels. The audio will be in Discord. And at that point, the app will go live. So because we're kind of in the 11th hour right now, we're actually breaking a ton of things as it goes live. So a full demo isn't quite possible right now. It will be, don't you worry. This is what it looks like. So the landing page, you can easily go to mint a particle. So when we go live this afternoon, the only type of NFT that you're able to energize or deposit other tokens inside of are NFTs that you create on our platform. So you can mint NFTs here at no fee. It's very low gas cost, so very competitive with the other minting stations. We do have a marketplace. This is being updated right now, but a number of the different the Genesis art drop collection. So each of these art pieces will be energized. So it will have a little bit of dye inside of it. It will have a little bit of charge, our own social token inside of it. So to kind of flex the powers of the Charged Particles protocol. And then I'll just show this. This is our Figma because we're currently in the process of re-updating it. It never fails. Whenever I want to do a demo, I think it's just how it works, right? So once
I forced you guys on air here before you were live, so it's my fault.
Well, it wouldn't matter if you didn't mention it, then it would work perfectly. That's just the way it is. So
that is how it works. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what are we looking at here? Like, what is this is one that ideally has already been minted.
Yes.
And there's an image involved. There could be GIFs involved, typical sorts of media, audio, even in the future with NFTs.
100%. So you can mint your normal type of NFT, like we're talking about here. So after I hit mint, then it brings me to this page. These wouldn't be here, but then I have the ability to energize, which means deposit additional tokens inside of this NFT. And then if you're the owner of this NFT, you can obviously discharge, which means remove the accrued interest if applicable, or release, which is remove the accrued or remove the principal amount. And you can remove them individually or all at one time. And then there's actually another button that isn't in the Figma for time lock. So you can time lock all of the assets in your NFT or individually. So if I want this DAI to be locked for a year and USDC not locked, I can do that, and I have the ability with the time lock function. So this opens up a lot of possibilities. You think of NFT as a vessel carrying these other tokens. Well, these tokens can be locked for different time periods, unlocking at different time periods. There's a lot that you can do. And then the interest that's being generated, this is all programmable. So if you want it to go to a different address, you want it to go back to me, the creator, like an artist royalty, you can do that as well.
That's cool. So what, to summarize then, we've got an NFT and we are charging it or energizing it with, it could be, in this case, a stable coin. It could be, like we said, an A token, a C token, could be another charged particle though as well, right? You can in other words, you could start to like
another NFT. It could be any,
cool.
you can paste any address here. So if you want to energize it with, Zapper token, which doesn't exist, you would be able to do that very easily just by pasting in the ETH contract address, similar to Uniswap.
By the way, if anyone goes like Googling, like there is a Zap token, it has nothing to do with it. He is completely kidding. Like, just, be careful. There will definitely be lots of fake tokens out there. No. I think it's funny. I just was like, oh God, someone's going to be like, I got the Zap token. And I'm like, it's not real.
Yeah. I bought all this Zap token and this Travis token from this guy on the internet. Should be totally fine.
Exactly. Okay. And then the last bit there was about the time lock. So that's really cool. So you can, I just learned this from you today. So you can, like, we were talking the other day, or it was something I tweeted about, Colby has this really famous piece of art that he made. It's like a abstract looking version of Vitalik. And so if charged particles had existed at the time, he could have actually deposited ether. He could have time locked the ether. So there's an interesting aspect to that. When you time lock something, you incentivize someone holding it a longer time. And I think that's interesting, even though, like, I will say the NFT community, from what I've observed, there are people who are flipping, NFTs, but there are seemingly a lot more people who are holding on to them long term. But I think the time lock is an interesting incentivization mechanism. And if I were an artist creating NFTs using this, I would definitely time lock some value into it, because then there's like a floor to what this is worth. I mean, if you value my time and my talents at 0, that's fine. But there's, let's say, 1 ether in it. So it's worth at least 1 ether. I'm not selling it for anything less than that. Maybe even you use that to sort of bootstrap like a floor or reserve price to like an NFT. So all sorts of sort of like growth hacking things you could do there as an artist.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm excited to see how this is incorporated in a number of the other platforms, right? Because if I create a piece of art and I fill it with 3 WBTC, well, that basically has a floor value, an intrinsic value of 3 times whatever WBTC price is. So say $50,000. So that should sell for $150,000 at least. So that probably will jump me in the rankings in terms of sale volume for that piece of art, even though, you know, I sold it for $151,000. The art piece itself was only $1,000, but the intrinsic, the assets that NFT contained were make up the large amount there.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any other use cases, Ben, that, you know, I don't know, you call out or maybe suggest that people could look forward to using?
Yeah, so we put out an article kind of saying the possibilities with charged particles, and touched on a lot of these. And the reality is, every time I talk to new people, you kind of see the light bulb moment with their particular expertise, zone of genius. They're like, oh my gosh, this could be used for this. And it's like, oh man, I didn't even think about that wild thing. So obviously within games, there's a lot of really good options. So you think of a sword that you deposit some A die into, it's accruing value. So it's accruing interest as time goes on, where you can battle for that sword and the winner gets discharged that accrued interest. So there's things like that. There's things like virtual geocaching. So in the metaverse, if this thing takes off the way that we think it will, you have an NFT that's generating interest as it's hidden. As soon as somebody finds it, it discharges the interest to the person that found it, and then they can hide it again. So little things like that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never talked with you about that. It's a journey to understanding what this is. If anyone tunes in late here, you know, catches this on Twitter, you know, just go back to the start of this or kind of skim through it. Like this is it's a really subtle concept of just, again, like being able to impart value to an NFT or to another charged particle. And just by being able to do that, I would compare it to like, I've thought about this with PieDAO a lot. Like PieDAO has always had this like cool model where, you know, they suggested we could put indexes within indexes, or they call them pies within pies. So suddenly if you have, in their world, if you have an index performing well, you can take that index and place it into another index, and now you have like inception of indexes. This is very similar, but just we're talking now about, you could take a pie from PieDAO and you could deposit it into an NFT, and then you could take maybe that piece and deposit into another, and suddenly you could stack these multiple times over. And I mean, where does that take us? I mean, I'm not totally sure, but it's a very cool creative Lego that I had never thought of until you guys, you know, were mentioning you were going to launch this. So
yeah, definitely. And I mean, Rob again came up with this like late 2019, has been just ideating on this, but ultimately it's charged particle protocol. So the demo that I showed is the DApp that we're going live with, but we're a protocol. So we're hoping that other teams come and build these crazy projects and products on top of the charged particle protocol, because ultimately I think the financialization of everything, right? But the financial use cases with via the charged particle protocol are quite great. So right now, crypto art is pretty crazy and frothy, and there's a lot of interest. So our DApp is focused to that, to kind of bootstrap growth and attention. But yeah, I really think the like killer use case of this protocol might be something a lot more financially inclined. So we've got quite a few ideas of our own, but our time is pretty busy right now, focusing on some other things. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what are next steps? I mean, what is can you remind us like what's actually launching today, and then what other sorts of milestones are coming up if someone wants to get involved in Charged Particles?
Yeah, definitely. Oops. So we are launching today. We go live at 2:30 p.m. Pacific. There's a party in CryptoVoxels. At this point, we'll have a lot of POAPs, like proof of attendance protocol, badges, NFT giveaways. We'll be handing out a lot of our social token, which is Charge. And it should be a lot of NFT drops, a lot of themed Charge Particle art drops. Lots of stuff is happening. To give you a little scoop, I'm going to tweet this after our talk, but we're actually going live with a Leptin NFT sale. So what this is we at Charged Particles believe in progressive decentralization. So eventually we will have a governance token. Eventually we will distribute this governance token, the majority to the community via liquidity mining programs. All of this is to be announced. But this week we're selling these Leptin NFTs. So what these are their yield multiplier NFTs. So we talked before a bit about how this all works, right? You have an NFT, you can deposit another NFT inside of it. You can deposit yield generating assets like Aave's A tokens inside of this NFT. So the idea is eventually when we do a liquidity mining program, yield farming, if you deposit this NFT, this Leptin NFT inside of your NFT that you're farming on, you will get a multiplied yield for the lifetime of that liquidity mining campaign. So this one that I'm showing, I think is 1.8 multiplier. So we have limited number of these that exist. As long as you hold this card and it's deposited into the NFT that you are yield farming, which you could be yield farming a number of different things, you will get amplified, multiplied, boosted, whatever your verb of choice, rewards while you hold this card. It's a normal NFT. Other than that, I mean, you could sell it on OpenSea afterwards. People love to buy these things and then flip them right away. But if you hold this when you're liquidity mining, it could generate a lot of boosted rewards for you whenever we do go live with that.
And the reward is what you're talking about is it's a future governance token that would eventually come, right? That's what we're talking about.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, we haven't announced anything about this, but we believe in progressive decentralization. After we have enough traction on the platform and kind of a clear sight of where the protocol needs to go and what we need to incentivize, that at that point we'll start to think more about releasing more information about the governance token.
Got it. And so reminder everyone too, this is not financial advice. We're not recommending or endorsing that you participate, but I mean, this is how it works. So just want to cover those bases. Ben, if I were to buy one of these Leptin cards, where's money ultimately going? Like, how is it ultimately used?
Yeah, great question, and I forgot to mention that. So all of the money that we're collecting will be put aside into the soon-to-be launched DAO. So the idea is you're farming, getting amplified rewards with this Leptin NFT. You're earning governance tokens, which allows you to vote on the way that we spend this money from the DAO. So it's this nice circular kind of. It's all pieced together quite nicely.
Got it. So so to summarize, if I end up getting one of these NFTs, eventually when the DAO launches, there's this, I could create a charged particle And I could, if I include this NFT in there, it multiplies these rewards that I'm earning, which ultimately is it's some future governance token, right? That's basically how it all works.
Yeah, and it gives you more of these governance tokens that gives you more voting weight in the protocol decisions. A big one is directing the funds that are collected from this Leptin NFT sale.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
we did do a small funding round. So we just announced that earlier this week, but we've got a couple big players that are investors. So like Verify, CoinGecko, the Lao. So there's a number of them. I can check my Twitter or Charged Particles Twitter.
Let's remind everyone of those though, because it is an impressive list. And yeah, congrats again on that. I forgot to mention that you guys closed around. So I mean, you've got reputable investors behind you, and this is call it whatever it is. Like there's that journey to decentralizing, and this is one way we get there is by launching the DAO here soon after. I'm just trying to pull up that tweet with all of the others. So we had Verify. You also have Stani involved. You've got who else here?
Yeah.
Am I missing?
So
CoinGecko. Fourth Revolution Capital. Wait, what is Moonwhale? Is that I didn't realize that Moonwhale Ventures.
Moonwhale Ventures. Yeah, they're out of Singapore.
Cool.
Blue Fund. So they were an intro from the Lao. Yeah, so we're very, very fortunate to have a very good group of angel investors and funds in our corner. So we're really excited.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, also on there, Leighton from Pull Together, Tyler from Barnbridge. We already said Stani, Liz from Drive Wealth, and Matthew from Cent. So
yeah. So Liz was actually founding team of Celsius, but she's now with Drive Wealth. But she's awesome.
Oh wow, very cool. Ben, anything else that we should cover then? I think we've got the next steps in mind. Like look for minting to go live later today. Will this be live as well? The ability to buy these NFTs that are to be used later in a yield farming program or liquidity mining program.
Yeah, so we've got all of these things going live at 2:30 p.m. Pacific today. So the platform will be live. It's an open platform. Anybody can come mint their NFT. They can energize their NFT, so deposit tokens to it. All of these things go live today, as well as the Leptin NFT sale. So purchasing these rare NFTs that give you a right to boosted liquidity mining when it goes live later in the year.
Very cool. Very cool. And that party again, everyone, that's at 5:30 Eastern. It's in Crypto Voxels, but you want to go to discord.gg/NFT. That's the Token Smart Discord. There's a channel there for what they end up doing is Token Smart facilitates all these events in the metaverse, especially Crypto Voxels. So you can listen to the audio, but then you get all of the visual fun just by opening up Crypto Voxels. And then I would say if you message them in Token Smart, they'll be sharing that link of the exact parcel where to go. Otherwise, Ben, where should they go to find the link to get to the exact spot in Crypto Voxels?
Yeah, so the link to the spot in Crypto Voxels is in the Eventbrite invite. So the easiest way is probably go to our Twitter. We'll be retweeting that multiple times today. Something that I didn't say that I should say is, a broad brush legal disclaimer on all of this, right? Like our product, we've made a lot of efforts with bug bounties and code reviews and all of these things to make sure that it is secure. But we do not have a formal audit at this time. So everybody, this is a beta version. It's a novel new protocol. It's doing a lot of really complicated things behind the scenes. But we have a whole team working on this, and we've been working on it for a long time and testing it for a long time. So we're just really excited to get it out there to the world.
I think thank you for calling that's really important to let people know. Joseph DeLong, who's the CTO at Sushi Swap, was saying that the other day, just that there's so much demand for auditing right now that a lot of teams, they're just not able to get time with the auditing firms that they want. So there is a lot of peer reviews going around with code, and that's a whole nother part of our community that like there's so much room for growth there. Like I don't think it's just more auditing firms, but I'm sure we're going to see like more and more tools that help to sort of automate looking for those sorts of like bugs. I'm trying to remember the one. It's actually by Consensus, where I used to work. I'm trying to remember what the name of the company is. What a fail. I like, it's a software you use to, I'm clearly not a developer, but you can use it to review your code and quickly look for like more obvious errors that, that a person might not catch, but the software catches. So pretty cool stuff. But Ben, thanks so much. This was great. I want to remind everyone to follow you and at DeFi NFT, which is the Charged Particles Twitter handle. Again, check out Charged Particles at charged.fi. Look for the minting to go live later today through the launch party. You can join the launch party for free. Obviously, it's meant to be open to anyone who's interested. And I can speak as someone who's using NFTs in DeFi. It's just a cool use case. I'm excited to be able to like get creative, and like I could even create something like a gift for like one of my kids. Or I think the other day, like maybe it was you or someone else mentioned to me, like you could do this for, let's say you have little kids and you want to lock up some value, not like a trust fund, but kind of like a trust fund, I guess.
Kind of like it. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like it, like a cheaper way of doing it without getting really expensive lawyers involved. There's all sorts of cool stuff. And then I'm leaving out the more like fun use cases with, gaming. Like there's all sorts of cool things that you guys have mentioned with gaming. So, yeah, man, just thanks so much. This is really fun. And anything else you wanted to share before we go?
Follow us on Twitter, join the launch party, jump in our Discord, our Telegram group. We have one now. The Leptin NFT sale goes on this afternoon as well. So there's a lot of fun things happening. But ultimately, we want to listen to the community, add new features that make sense for the community. We'll be adding a ton of new features over the coming weeks, but we can fill up the backlog forever. And then ultimately, it is a protocol, so we do want people coming, building. So if you have a great idea for a game with one of these charged particle-esque aspects that you would like to incorporate, message us, jump in our Discord. Don't be afraid to ask. We've probably already thought of a lot of these, and we'd love to help support people that are building them, because there's a lot of very interesting, cool things that Charged Particles enables. So it's our tagline is do more with your NFT. You can do a lot.
Absolutely. I forgot to mention this too earlier. Being totally transparent, I am an advisor to the team, so that's how I've known so much and thought so much about this. So whatever sort of personal bias I might have to think it's really cool, but I do. That's why I wanted to get involved, and I've known Ben for a few years now, so just been kind of grateful to be along for the journey with this. But yeah, come over to Crypto Voxels and Token Smart Discord later today. It'll be really interesting to learn, and hop in their Discord, because you guys are very responsive there to other builders that want to use the Charged Particles protocol, which is the most important takeaway. So anyways, Ben, I'm going to just hit the outro video here. Oh, shoot, there was one question. Sorry. Someone asked, I don't know if you can answer this yet, but what L2 solution are you possibly implementing for the project to reduce the gas fee? Is that anything you're even thinking about right now, or?
Oh, it's definitely something we're thinking about. Ultimately, if our users are paying a ton in gas and not having a good time, it's a problem for us. So I just put this in the FAQs the other night. Are you investigating implementing a L2 solution? And I just put yes. So we're talking to a number of different ones, but we have good integrations with Aave. So Aave and OpenSea, they look like they're going towards Matic, but we're also talking to Near and some of the other ones. So we're for sure looking at it, but we want to launch on layer 1 before we start making decisions on layer 2.
Very cool. Very cool. So, well, great, Ben, I'm going to hit the outro here, and then we'll be in a green room if you have any other questions. So, hey, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow actually, we'll be back in the morning. Well, my morning, 10:30 Eastern. That is, wow, that's really early on the West Coast. At 7:30 Eastern. We're going to have Whale Shark on. So he's going to talk with us just about all the cool stuff he's involved with. And I think he's one of the largest NFT collectors in the world. So should be a really interesting conversation to sort of complement what we covered here today. But otherwise, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys at the Charged Particles party. So bye, everyone.